So we are continuing with our series on remothering, and this is a summit that I attended, curated or facilitated by Simona, Vivi, Hadjigeorgalis, and she's the moderator for the conversations with the experts. So the first expert that we're going to talk about from today, which is, she's not the first one we've discussed, we've heard from others, but now her name is Erin. She says that when we practice what we were not allowed to do, for example, it's pausing, taking stock of the situation, refocusing, or even asking a question, which requires us to feel, reflect, perceive, voice. We do verbs based on like coming back to center, coming back to truth, rather than just rolling our wheels, like as they say. These are important recovery efforts. We're not reacting, we're making choices. She says, what is recovery? Recovery, we develop agency, autonomy, and embodiment. We become active participants in our lives, and this is built on like what is active participation? It's built on these micro moments: feeling, reflecting, perceiving, voicing. Yes, it's a choice to feel and reflect and perceive and voice, of noticings and self-honorings, rather than grand sweeping transformations that happen overnight and everything's different. She also talks about the experiences that are called restorative experiences, the I am versus I need, and then contorting it. Like we actually acknowledge our the actual identity that will begin to flow out once the shame and toxic messages are taken away and there's space for me. So like, I am creative versus I need to solve this. So I need means there's a lack. I need a solution. I need to solve it. Rather, we say I am creative, or I am able to make, I'm able to find solutions. I am solution oriented. We might even say these are affirming the identity, the space for the real me, versus when I'm not, which is I need, right? Another thing, so we restore that identity. Another thing is emotions have a life cycle. There's a peak where we may distract or try to be productive or compartmentalize or even distance or problem solve, but that locks them in place, or rather than lets them die. So the emotion comes and goes and it dies when it goes, but it has a life cycle. But if we like keep it in place, we're keeping it stuck. It's not like transitioning through its cycle. And it could be blocked. They could be blocked, these emotions, right? If there's shame, or if we're told that we're too sensitive or dramatic because we're having the emotions, or if we don't know that it's temporary and that the super hard worst part of it doesn't last forever. And we could say all addiction really comes from, all addictions and addictive processes come from this sense of thinking this will last forever, or I can't get through this hard peak of it. A short comment from Leslie Petruk is that when we're in our agenda, we're usually past the window of tolerance, so that many parts become activated. When we have an agenda, it means we need things to go a certain way. And that means that we are not able to trust that the I is able to handle the situation regardless of what it is. Like in the unknown, that I have a strong enough sense of resilience that I could make it through. So then we end up past our window of tolerance. Kari says that grounding can be hard when we don't want to be here. We don't want to be alive. We don't want to be like on earth. Yet that's when it's needed most. We can release our energy into the planet. I've tried this so many times. Before I ever heard her say this, I've done this. Literally imagining I'm releasing the energy into the planet. Like it takes the recycled energy. We are magnets, and if we are lurching to what's out of reach, we are not actively connected to what we are joined to already. There's a yoking, there's an anchor already there. We might be thinking we're going to anchor with something outside versus anchoring with the true gravity self. Another thing she says is that when we need affirmation of our worth, our choices, our value, our lovability, at that moment we are actually not in our inner wisdom. The next person I wanted to share from is going to be for tomorrow, because it's a whole video in and of itself. And I will not say her name yet because I'm going to keep it for tomorrow, but I am skipping to, because that's a large portion, but I'm skipping to our last person for it is our last person for today, which is Hailey Magee. And she says that people pleasing is when we put what we think others a moment. Try to get it. Let's try that. It's not standing up. Let's try one more thing. Hopefully this works. Yep. All right, so Hailey says, people-pleasing happens when we put what we think others want and need and desire above, and remember, this is not what they actually might want, need, or desire. This could be all different things, but it's what we need, want, or desire. Requests are not boundaries. Requests are not enforceable, but they do give us the opportunity to be vulnerable. Boundaries are empowering. Just want to say vulnerable because the person may not listen, may even make us feel badly for us, and not make us feel badly, but may respond in a way that brings up feelings where we feel badly. Boundaries are empowering because they are regarding that which we do have control. So how could you say that? You could say, my boundary is, after this person interrupts me, I'm going to stop participating in this conversation and I'm going to exit. And you can actually do that. Versus a request, please stop interrupting me, is completely different. It's not a boundary. Intentions after starting. To identify our need, so basically, identifying our needs can help set the foundation for us to be a decision maker in terms of our engagement. And again, okay. Intentions after starting to identify needs can help set the foundation for us to be a decision maker in our terms of engagement. I think I'll even say it one more time. Intentions after starting to identify our needs. So let's say our need is, I need peace and quiet sometimes. So we can then set the foundation. We make the decisions in our terms of engagement. This disrupts my peace and quiet, or I didn't get peace and quiet today. I want to talk to this person, but peace and quiet is something I commit to for myself. Technique is imagine a parallel universe where everyone is already pleased with me. And this is a technique she suggests. Imagining a parallel universe where everybody is already pleased with me in order to really get a sense of what I need without any of my internal blockages. Like if everyone's pleased with me, what would I do? If everyone cares about me, likes me, everybody thinks I'm whatever I want them to think I am, how would I behave? And that's how we sort of access our freedom. And we are, let's say, be able to have my own schedule, a secure place. This is what I was thinking, like, what are my needs? To be able to have my own schedule, which means like ownership of my time, a secure place to live, a group of individuals who care about me and check on me at regular intervals and offer resources they think I might like or enjoy, access to healthy, affordable, nutritious food, and a stable income. So, for example, if for some reason I'm staying, poor because I thought that will make things better for others, or if I was not eating the foods that I wanted to eat because I thought it interfered with somebody else, or if I didn't own my own schedule because I thought somebody else needed territory in my schedule, or in terms of having a secure place to live, it would cut me off from someone else, or having a group of people who care about me, maybe I would become disconnected from someone else who doesn't have that, or it would make them feel threatened, or so. Just giving like hypothesis, what is it called? Reflections. She also says we have to see the growth as an experimental and clumsy at times, so that we may feel sore after some new muscle training. And I actually felt that I practiced walking in a different way last night or 2 nights ago. And I practiced kicking this piece of ice first with my right foot, and then the harder foot was my left foot. And I became good at it with my left foot. I thought, to the point where I even said, what about if I'm actually all along a lefty? I just never tried with my left foot. And boundaries. She says, how? Boundaries, remember we said something you could enforce. How frequently, when, which topics, and is it after a request was not met? In other words, is it after a request was not met and intimacy needs to be adjusted? Do we actually need to change something now? So we can ask ourselves, how close am I willing and able to be with this person if they cannot meet my needs or listen to my request? And that extra room means don't necessarily need to end the relationship if it's not something as significant as respect or safety and intimacy. Just respect or safety and, in other words, like, what am I, if this person cannot meet my needs, am I willing to engage with them in any way? And that extra room of asking ourselves these questions can actually give us that that sense of, I don't need to be black or white, like all or nothing. Like, I don't need to end this relationship, because they interrupt me. Like, it's something that maybe we could do where they won't interrupt me. Maybe this is someone you could do an activity with, or be with other people also, not just with them alone. Just examples, so that, because it's not necessarily that they don't respect us or that they make us feel unsafe. It's that, my need for peace and quiet is kind of bordered on by their excitement and eagerness, and they interrupt. All right, so that's all for now. We'll continue with our third piece of this remothering series with tomorrow, with a great speaker, presenter who I absolutely adore. Her teachings, I find them to be brilliant. Like, each of these interviews were some time, and with her, I wrote 1, 2, 3.5 pages worth, which we'll do tomorrow from what she shared. It's good stuff. All right, bye.